Strafe is a really nice guy, one of the kindest and gentlest mechanoids you could ever meet, and he's a crack shot with his heat ray rifle too. It's said that he could burn a hole in a screw head from over 2 miles away. It's just too bad that he can't tighten up the loose screws in his own cranial modulator though. He's got a case of nerves that can make red alert fear for his job security. And when startled, he tends to shoot, fire, and kill it dead without stopping to aim or analyze the threat, and doesn't quit until he's shot down or runs out of heat ray charges.
We're taking a look at the Technobot Strafe, who you can probably tell is just a heavy retool and repaint of Air Raid from the Aerobots line. I am happy that they were able to keep a lot of the little electronics right here on his chest, forearm, and even his legs. Seeing all those little bit of electronics helped me think like, yeah, this guy's part of the Technobots team. He is spouting a new backpack right here and wings for his legs, but we'll get into those a little bit later. Oh, and his head is a completely new sculpt as well. It is able to move up and down a little bit, but mostly side to side because of its blocky nature. He shares a lot of the same articulation as Air Raid. You got a nice tight ball joint right here at the shoulder, bicep swivel, elbow bend, waist articulation, ball joint for the hips, thigh rotation, and knee bend as well. Now back to the backpack right here. This is where I kind of have a problem. It's because both of these guns are permanently molded right here on the side. I wish it was a little bit more like the Takara version where you can actually pop these guns off and he could be dual wielding pistols. Yeah, sadly a lot of the Technobots or this box set, they're lacking in weapons. You're going to be lucky if they get 1 or 2 with one of the guys. Now as for these wings back here, you can see that they just kind of stick out here and it forms quite a big amount of kibble. I wish that the wings had one more little hinge right here so you could kind of fold them over to save on space, but I guess on the upside, it does help balance them a little bit if you really want to have them looking up. As far as the color scheme goes with this guy, they're not my favorite colors, but for some reason it really works well with this guy. I think it's because there's a majority of gray with just a little bit of hits of orange, purplish red, and even red right here on the legs that help break everything up. There's not really much else to say about this guy in his robot mode, so let's go ahead and try to transform him into his vehicle mode. Alright, now to get Strafe here into the leg mode of Computron, we're going to start off by moving his head back like so, just to get the joint facing up like this. And I'm just going to move his arms out of the way as I fiddle with his legs. We're going to want to separate both of these apart, and then just fold them down almost like we're getting them back into vehicle mode. Now for some reason, this piece tends to get in the way when we want to fold things back up, so I'm just going to move it out of the way so I can get these parts right back here to snap together, and then just move it back like so. Make sure both of these wings are still facing forward. Get the arms, move them down like so. Lock everything into place, and then just take the foot, slide it into place down here. And there you go. Strafe is now ready to form the leg of Computron. Alright, now to get Strafe here into the arm mode of Computron is actually very simple. All we're going to do is move his head back like so to get that joint facing out at a 90-degree angle. We're then going to rotate his arms up like so, and this little peg is going to want to fit right here on the slot of his arm. Right here, and do that for both sides. Next up, we're just going to want to make sure both of his legs are together. Rotate them around just so that any side is facing up. I think I'm going to keep it to where the wings are facing up just because they'll get in the way otherwise. Then just take the arm, fit that into place, and there you go. Strafe is now ready to form the arm of Computron. Now transform Strafe here is exactly the same as if you're going to transform Air Raid. We're going to start off by moving his head all the way around like so, and we're going to actually separate his legs so that they can actually fold in on themselves. I'm going to move the hinge right here on the back for this one, move the hinge down here like so, and then we're going to make sure everything locks into place together. Fold his legs down and make sure everything snaps together. There we go. Next we're going to take his arms and we're going to make sure that this little peg fits right in this little notch right here when we fold it down. Right, then we could bring his wings down like so, and he actually has an extra little set of wings with a little notch that's going to fit right here on the back of his arms. Make sure everything locks in place. Last but not least, we're going to bring his nose cone, make sure his head's straight, and then just bring that down and forward. And there you go, he's now his super sci-fi jet. I have mixed feelings about the alt mode for these guys. At the same time, well, I guess I should say I like the fact that he does seem a little bit more heavily armed in this mode than he does in his robot mode with the 2 guns right here, and you could almost pretend that those are a little extra set of guns right there and also on his nose cone right here. But at the same time, I've never really cared for any of the alt modes that the Technobots had. It's not to say that I hate them, it's just I've always felt like meh about them. I much prefer their robot modes or the fact that they formed Computron. I will say that I also like a lot of the little detailing right here on his wings and even the little Autobot logo, although it seems like it's on a little bit of an angle right there on both sides. So yeah, He still has the same large amount of kibble right here on his undercarriage that's Air Raid had, but I'm going to kind of forgive that because he is a sci-fi jet and the fact that he actually forms an arm for an even bigger robot. He still has the same level of holes all over his body right here at the top, his arms, and I'm really questioning why they would actually put it on the wings right here, especially since he doesn't have any extra missiles that he comes with. I guess you could take some of the Titans Returns characters and put them on the side of this guy if you really wanted to give him a little bit more firepower, but then it just kind of looks a little silly to have this jet right here in the big drill nose cone. There's not really much else to say about his vehicle mode, so let's go ahead and get him into the arm or leg of Computron next.
Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.